welcome back to Twirl Around the World. Today I have with me Ella Earnest. She is currently a high school senior and going through the collegiate twirling tryout process, which is definitely fun and exciting times. So how's that been going, Ella?
It's been really exciting, actually, because of all the events that have been canceled due to the pandemic. Auditioning, even starting back in December when the deadlines were first arriving, has been really exciting because it gives me a time to focus on my twirling and kind of highlight all the years that I've grown up twirling and all of my best achievements to best showcase myself for my eventual collegiate twirling.
That's awesome. It's always good to see a little bit of light in the darkness that we've been in recently. So I love to hear that. So let's backtrack a little bit and tell me about your baton twirling journey, kind of where you began.
I started twirling in first grade with the after-school program at my elementary school, which was held by the Sundancers. You know, even first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all through middle school, I loved twirling. I practiced every day in my driveway, on the street, all the time. So that was really exciting. And then as I got older, I watched my teammates twirl with the high school and on the band and at football games. So I knew that that was something that I had always wanted to do. So when it was my turn, I auditioned and I made the majorette line, and I fell in love. I found a second family, and I spent so many hours in the band room that I normally wouldn't have.
Competition twirling and band twirling is very different. So it's like when you find that passion again for baton, it's a really cool spark that lights back up again. So what has been your favorite about the collegiate tryout process this far? And do you know what colors you'll be sporting next year?
I think one of the weird things that I've enjoyed about the audition process is actively checking my email. It's so many things. I've had a couple letters sent to me in the mail, but I'll check my email so many times. And it's so exciting when you get an email from a band director at a university, and it's really exciting when you just read it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is awesome. Actually, I'm going to be attending the University of Missouri in the fall as a featured twirler. So I'm so excited to be repping black and gold for the next.
That's amazing. Congratulations. That's so exciting. Oh my goodness, that letter, I bet when that came in the mail, you were probably the most excited you think you've ever been.
I got it right as school let out because I only have 2 classes. So I got it right at 9 in the morning, and I cried in my car, and then I drove home.
It's the best feeling in the world. You're like, oh my gosh, okay, so my twirling career led me here. Didn't know what school, so when you were applying for schools, were you thinking about really where you wanted to twirl at the same time, or was it kind of a perfect mix of everything?
I first started looking, seriously looking at colleges right as summer 2020 started. And I made this huge Google sheet that had 100 colleges on it, some from every single state. And I slowly knocked out all the ones that I didn't interest me, either their academics or the twirling program. So growing up in Florida, I've always known that I wanted to twirl at an SEC school, and Mizzou is one. So that was always on my list. And they have a great healthcare program right in Columbia. And I'm a pre-physical therapy major. So that was really appealing to me. So even then, you have to focus on what you want to do academically and what matters to you as a twirler. One of the biggest parts about it for me has always been keeping my grades up so that I don't get a call back from the school, but they won't slide me in admissions in the band program. So that was super awesome. One of the best tips I have is to buy a prep book for the ACT or the SAT and religiously use it because it helps so much.
Well, that's so exciting. Growing up in Florida, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a weather difference up in Missouri, but that's always fun to kind of plan for and see what you'll come into, especially when twirling comes into play. Hoping for warm games for you. Do you have anything that you're looking forward to most about collegiate twirling, especially at Mizzou? I know that they're a great football school. Their stadium's huge. Yes. Awesome colors.
I'm most looking forward to the entire game day environment and all the traditions that happen with it. Even just practice on the field before the game, and then, pregame. I've never had a pregame before. And the band director told me that they have an 11-minute pregame. So that will definitely be an experience that I'm so looking forward to.
It seems so long at first when you're practicing it in sections and everything. And then all of a sudden you walk out on the field for the first time, do your first pregame together and everything with the band. And you're like, wait, that wasn't as terrible as I thought it'd be. Like I thought I'd be a lot more out of breath. I guess the adrenaline just kicked in and it really helped. Well, that's all awesome. So what is, besides academically, twirling wise, for trying out at different schools and stuff like that, do you have any advice that you kind of lived by to help the process go by a little bit smoother, anything like that?
If your school does allow twirlers, I strongly recommend that you join that majorette line or audition for feature and be friends with your band director, because getting a letter of recommendation was super helpful. And I wore a different costume when I filmed for my audition video than the ones that the rest of the majorettes wore. And it just kind of gives you like a different feel. It makes you feel more confident, at least it did for me. So that was super helpful. And just to have fun, because it's not like a competition. There's no score sheet on what you do on the field, or like if you twirl on the track during the other quarters of the football game. So just have fun with it.
That is my favorite advice with twirling and life in general. And just have to have fun with whatever you're doing and really commit to what you're doing. So thank you for talking with me today. This was so much fun. And I can't wait to see you rep Mizzou in the fall. That is so exciting. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a thrill on your first band or your first game day, band practice, all of it, early week. Some people call it band camp, all of that. So for everyone else that's watching, be sure to follow Ella on Instagram at Ella Earnest, so then you can follow along with her Mizzou journey and collegiate twirling journey and just kind of keep up to date on her life. And with everything else, to watch more interviews like this one, make sure you follow Twirl Around the World with Lexi, as well as Style Plus _band. So we'll see you next time.